Politeness is a currency of the weak when used at the wrong time. And power, Machiavelli tells us, is never granted freely. It is taken, seized in silence, and kept with force. In a world where civility is praised but rarely reciprocated, you must understand one fundamental law of survival. The man who is always polite is the man whose throat is easiest to cut. We live in a world where masks are the norm, and the polite man is often devoured by the wolves he tried to keep warm. Niccolò Machiavelli, the master of pragmatic cunning, saw the world not as it ought to be, but as it is, a brutal theater of dominance and deceit, where kindness without timing is suicide, and politeness without control is a leash around your own neck. So, when should you never be polite? When does etiquette become your executioner? Let's descend into the mind of Machiavelli, where smiles hide daggers and silence holds strategy. In the silence of courts, in the whispers of backrooms, in the glare of rivals, there exist moments when to be polite is to surrender. And Machiavelli understood something deeply uncomfortable to modern ears. Manners are a trap when used against you. Let's not speak of politeness as a virtue, but as a tactic. And every tactic has its moment and its death. Politeness, when offered without power, becomes begging. A man who is overly courteous in the face of threat loses his leverage. The wolf senses no danger in the bowing sheep. And the world? It has always belonged to wolves. Machiavelli and the Prince warn that rulers must not be loved at the expense of fear. Politeness is a cousin of love, a desire to be liked, accepted, embraced. But when the moment demands strength, the polite man becomes disarmed. He is seen as soft, harmless, weak. The claws of respect retract, and contempt creeps in. The first situation where politeness becomes poison is when someone disrespects you in public. This is not merely a moment of emotional pain. It is a public test, a test of your value, your social worth, your position in the hierarchy. If you respond with grace, with understanding, with calm detachment, you may feel moral, but Machiavelli would call you a fool. Because to let an insult slide is not noble. It is suicidal in the eyes of rivals. You are being measured not just by the one who offends, but by the crowd watching. And in silence, they make their decision. You are either a man of substance or a doormat. Machiavelli believed power was perception. The ruler must appear strong, decisive, fearsome, even when he is not. If your response to disrespect is cloaked in manners, you teach others that they may step on you with no consequence. The man who bites once earns more peace than the man who pleads 100 times. Do not be polite when you're being disrespected. Be strategic, cold, calculated. Assert your worth or lose entirely. The second moment where politeness must die is when negotiating for your future. Whether in business, politics, or personal relationships, many men make the fatal error of asking nicely. They want to be liked more than they want to win. They ask for what they deserve with soft language, gentle tone, avoiding conflict like a disease. But Machiavelli would say, conflict is a crucible where real power is born. To avoid it is to remain forever beneath your true station. Do not be polite when your future is at stake. This is not a moment to preserve feelings. It is a moment to press advantage. If you don't demand, you beg. If you don't declare, you disappear. And if you are too afraid to offend, you will be forgotten. You see, politeness has its place. But when it comes to power acquisition, it is a tool you sheath, not wield. When it's time to take what is yours, Machiavelli would instruct you to speak with the clarity of force, with words that bend the room, not please it. The polite man asks for permission. The Machiavellian man simply moves the pieces. And yet many would say, but I don't want to be feared. And that's fine if you don't want influence. If you want peace, not power. But do not confuse the two. Machiavelli warned us, to rule, to truly influence, you must accept that not all will like you. The question is not whether they like you, but whether they respect you. And respect is never born in excessive courtesy. It is born in unshakable presence, in unapologetic ambition. The third situation where you must never be polite is when someone tries to guilt or manipulate you. Here, politeness is not just weakness, it is submission. The guilt tripper uses your desire to be good against you. They weaponize your kindness. They accuse you of being selfish, cold, inconsiderate. Not because it's true, but because they want control. And what does the polite man do? He apologizes. He gives in. He bends. And in doing so, he dies a little. Machiavelli understood human nature. He saw that people are not noble by default. They are self-interested, emotional, and deceptive. When someone tries to make you feel guilty, ask yourself, what do they stand to gain? In these moments, do not smile. Do not explain. Do not apologize if you have done no wrong. Guilt is a rope. Don't put it around your neck. The manipulator thrives on your politeness. They rely on your hesitation. They hope your desire to be liked will outweigh your judgment. And if it does, you are no longer in control. To be Machiavellian is to detach from this emotional warfare, to remain unmoved when others cry foul, scream betrayal, play the victim. You are not here to be swayed by crocodile tears. You are here to stand firm in the storm, unmoved and unmoving. The fourth moment where politeness must be murdered is when someone is testing your boundaries. Tests are rarely spoken. They are subtle, passive-aggressive. They come in the form of late replies, half-truths, shifting tone, disrespected time, broken commitments. And the polite man says, "It's okay. I understand." Again and again until he is bled dry. But Machiavelli would scoff. He would ask, what signal are you sending when you allow repeated violations? That you are forgiving? No, that you are exploitable. The powerful man does not explain his standards. He enforces them, without apology, without negotiation. When someone tests you, do not smile. Correct, withdraw. Respond with distance, silence, or calculated words that pierce through the noise. Not rudeness, not tantrum. Precision. Machiavelli taught that when your boundaries are breached and you remain polite, you teach the world to keep pushing. And they will, because human nature does not respect weakness. It consumes it. And the fifth situation, perhaps the most dangerous of all, where you must never be polite, is when someone mistakes your kindness for submission. This is the moment when the snake slithers closest, when they smile at your generosity, but quietly sharpen their knife, when they laugh at your softness while planning to exploit it, when the world begins to think you are too harmless to be a threat. And here, Machiavelli would demand you strike, not out of malice, but out of clarity, because once your kindness is mistaken for weakness, the door has been opened for your fall. In such moments, withdraw your smile, remove the mask, let the cold light of your self-respect shine. There is no need to shout, no need to curse, only to assert, not through emotion, but through unflinching presence. Never be polite when the cost is your dignity. Machiavelli did not hate kindness, but he knew it must be used like salt, sparingly, strategically, never wasted on the unworthy. He taught that mercy without strength invites betrayal, that love without respect invites exploitation, that politeness, when overused, becomes a muzzle. You must learn to wield politeness as a sword, not a chain, a tool of diplomacy, not a default. Use it when it serves your strategy. Discard it when it weakens your frame. Power, after all, is not taken with smiles. It is taken with presence, with calculated silence, with a refusal to shrink. The world is not gentle, and though many will act as if they are moved by manners, they are moved far more by strength. The kindest thing you can do for yourself is to stop being kind to those who mistake your grace for permission. So remember, never be polite when you are being disrespected. Never be polite when negotiating your future. Never be polite when someone is trying to manipulate you. Never be polite when your boundaries are tested. Never be polite when your kindness is being mistaken for submission. Let them call you rude. Let them call you harsh. Let them call you cold. The world will always criticize what it cannot control. But one day, they will call you something else. Untouchable,